Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, June 21, 2016 at 2:55 a.m. Birmingham. Topic: the most part or the biggest part of the 1/3 of the world population that dies will more than likely be Muslim. And God will deal with them in that manner through the four horsemen that come from the river Euphrates. But keep in mind, somewhere in there is going to be a battle prior to that, or that may even be part of the battle that Russia, Iran, Turkey, names all these same nations that will come against the Jews, but yet God will destroy them on the mountains that circles Jerusalem. They'll all fight each other and die out of confusion. And but that's not the 2.3 billion, because it'll take the Jews 7 years to burn the weapons. It says during that time they will cut no trees from the forest, and 7 months to bury the dead. So this is a different battle. This is a very small battle as compared to that battle. And that battle is prior to the midway of the tribulation, because it says the first 3.5 years, a third of the world population will die. And then the second 3.5 years, then another quarter of the population will die. This is a grand total of half the people on earth. If there's 7 billion today, or 7.2, wow, you're talking about 3.6 billion people dying in 7 years. Calculate that. It's a big, big number. But this particular one, and I'm not sure how much of the Islamic terrorist, the Muslim, will die for a long while. I thought that they would be weakened to the point where they would be able to make war no more. And that may be the case, because in the next war here you have Russia, and you have China, you have Iran, you have other countries. And unless you want to factor all those into the battle that kills enough people that the Jews take 7 years to burn the weapons and 7 months to bury the dead. So I thought there was one war, but apparently there may be 2 scrimmages or 2 smaller wars prior to the final war, the Battle of Armageddon. And but you can bet the one where so many will die on the mountains around Israel is God's punishment, God's judgment against the parts of the Middle East that stayed on the Jews and vowed every day to kill them, and every prayer to kill them. And many of them pray 5 times a day, 7 or 10, but what a waste of time when they could be praying to the true Almighty God. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's how evil works. When it grips you, I guess it grips you completely. And but Trump, by the way, they keep saying he's got a setback here, a setback there. Well, Obama himself created a firestorm yesterday when he stood up and started preaching and preaching and preaching and talking about Trump calling these terrorists Muslim Islamic terrorists. Well, what else are they? How many Canadian terrorists have you seen? How many Mexican terrorists have you seen? How many American terrorists have you seen? How many Christian terrorists have you seen? The world's not seen terrorists except by the body that calls themselves Muslim. And something else that I've been thinking for a long time, and I kind of made a parallel to it, but didn't completely allude to it, probably about 4 years ago, was the story of Amalekite. But you back up on that name and on and on and on. Well, the Amalekites, they were a Nephilim crowd, a Nephilim created crowd. They were the Rephaim. And if you get these disembodied spirits into the Muslim world, well, then it'll make the Muslim world do what they're doing today. So you just don't know how many has that spirit in them. And you don't know how many that are unable to kick them out unless they truly come to Christ. And when you invite Christ, then those guys have to leave. But I just don't see that that's going to happen. I think they're so mind wiped by the Rephaim that they don't know anything else. How can someone fight every day, and just, I mean, really, how do they have time to eat, sleep? They're always out there fighting and killing. And we just had a series of shows here in Birmingham, and I'm sure a lot of you have, about honor killings. And honor killings are taking place in our country in a fairly large scale. But yet, all those are hidden behind closed doors, and the neighbors won't tell because they're Muslim. They dare not say a word when they find that a wife or a daughter of their neighbor was killed by the family and called it honor killing. So to them, it's just, oh well. That's why I think wholeheartedly that this next battle, or the one with the 4 horsemen, that's going to wipe out most of the Muslim world. And then they'll never have the ability to make war again. And there really won't be time at that time because there's 3.5 years left. And anyway, I just wanted to throw it in that is a judgment. That's finally God throwing his hands up. My fury is thrown up in my face. Jody Wolf Expoz.